On day 1, I spawned in as a baby Demogorgon. I was in my home, the Upside Down, with my Demogorgon family, who were all scavenging for food.
Today's the day, son. You learn how we hunt.
Yes, I can't wait. Suddenly, red lightning began to strike all around us, turning everything into chaos. The floor erupted, and there looming over all of us was a massive shadow, the Mindflayer.
You will all join the hive.
In an instant, red tendrils surged out of him, striking every Demogorgon in my family. Everyone was in a mindless trance, besides me. No, Dad, snap out of it!
One among you somehow resisted my control. You are a threat.
Instantly, every Demogorgon snapped toward me, even my father.
Son, run!
Before I could react, my family lunged at me all at once to take me down. Guys, please, I'm your family! They were closing in. However, before I was caught, the ground gave out below me as I was pulled into another world. I looked around and saw I fell through a portal and hit the dirt of the real world.
Guys, Demogorgon!
Huh? I turned and saw there behind me were a group of kids?
It's young, but dangerous. Let's take it down!
On day 2, the kids were all chasing me through the forest with deadly weapons.
There it goes! Don't let it get away! Oh yeah, Dustin, why didn't I think of that?
Why are you chasing me? I don't want to hurt you! Suddenly, I was cut off as a wave of psychic force blasted the trees apart.
Stop!
I stumbled back as one of the kids stepped forward. She had powers. Stay back!
You're not like the others, but you're still dangerous.
She raised her hand, lifting me off the ground, and I thought I was a goner until...
11! Wait! Look!
Suddenly, the ground around us cracked. 11's power hit something within me, something deep inside, and the ground gave way beneath us. I fell straight into a cavern, and as the dust settled, something pulsed in the center of the cave. It was a tendril? For some reason, I felt connected to it, and the moment my claws touched it, my body surged with power. I grew larger in size, gained 5 more hearts, and now had super strong claws to destroy anything I wanted. However, before I could celebrate, my vision blurred, and I entered a vision. How nice.
Dinner's ready!
Whoa, this tendril gave me a vision? Who was that kid? Before I had time to think, one of the kids, Dustin, had found me.
Aha! There you are!
He charged in with the makeshift spear, but before he could hurt me, the entire cave began to shake. We both turned as a pack of demodogs burst out of the area snarling.
Oh, come on! Not these things!
Dustin tried his best to fend them off, but he would surely be done for. One jumped in to take him down, but without thinking, I ran in and slashed forward, firing a burst of tendril energy from my claws. Another demodog leapt from the left, but I attacked him too and roared at the others. The remaining 2 dogs witnessed my new power and ran away in fear.
Did you just save me?
Yes, I want to save family.
So you're not evil. I must be crazy. Fine. Come on. I'll show you somewhere you can stay safe. Follow me!
On day 4, Dustin led me above ground until we arrived at a cabin in the forest. Safe here?
Safe-ish. Nothing in this town is really safe anymore.
I was confused, so he brought me over to a cliff overlooking his town. There were portals all throughout, and the sky looked grim.
This is Hawkins. Well, was. Until your home began spreading its way through it.
All of this, it has to be the Mindflayer. If he spreads his power here, he'll destroy everything, just like he did to my family. As I looked over his town, an energy pulsed through my body.
What's going on?
I had a vision showing 5 other tendrils spread throughout Hawkins. It felt like they were calling to me. Wah! Those tendrils. Maybe with them, I can stop that Mindflayer and finally get my family back.
Whoa there! Do you think you know a way you could stop all this?
Before I could respond, I was blasted by an explosion. Yeah!
Target confirmed. Move!
Military and scientists stormed in through the area, all surrounding me.
You are now property of Hawkins' lab.
No!
Let him go!
I tried to fight back, but with another blast, I passed out. On day 5, I jolted awake inside of a testing room. Let me go!
Subject secured.
Hello, Pest. I've been waiting to meet you.
The head scientist walked out, overlooking me.
Oh, I can't wait to see what you truly can do. Since your home has been trying to connect with ours, everything has been ruined. But with your powers, Hawkins' lab can be unstoppable.
No, let me out! I need to save my family! But he activated a lever, causing a wall to open up. In front of me was a very tough parkour course, and there, far off on the other side, was another tendril. I need to get it!
For the first test, agility.
Suddenly, the floor beneath me electrified, causing me to jump to the first platform. Ah!
Let's see what you're made of.
The electricity was following close behind, forcing me to jump on the platform. It was tough, because if I fell, I'd be done for. However, thanks to my newly upgraded form, I was able to make it to the other side. Aha! The tendril! I just gotta find a way to break out of here.
Impressive. It adapts quickly. Now on to the final test. Strength.
As he said this, another scientist walked forward. He was in a mech that had a large flamethrower. On day 6, the large scientist marched forward and blasted me back with fire. Ah! Fire! It hurts! I sprinted behind a pillar to dodge his next attack, but he was able to break right through it.
Maybe it's not as strong as I thought it was.
No, I won't die here. I won't let my family down. I became extremely angry, causing me to slash at the mech repeatedly. Because of this, it began to short circuit and couldn't shoot out its flamethrower anymore.
Remarkable.
I didn't stop there though, because with one more massive slash, I sent the mech flying into the wall, allowing me to make a break for the tendril.
It's trying to escape.
Alarms started to go off as chaos erupted inside.
Demogorgon on the loose.
Please, I have a family!
In seconds, I was able to collect the next tendril. On day 7 to 8, I collected the tendril. Its power fused within me again, causing me to upgrade into a fully sized Demogorgon. I gained 5 more hearts and felt stronger than ever. The scientists were all closing in, but before they could, I was pulled into another vision.
There you are. It's time to eat. Ah! Yeah!
I need you for my plans to succeed.
No! Fozo! Run!
Whoa! Wait, Fozo? That kid, that was me? Just then, the scientists all around were about to reach me, but I let out a pulsing tendril attack all around, taking them down. The alarms kept going off, and I knew I had to escape. I was a human, but why am I a monster now? Suddenly, I heard bushes move around me. I snapped my head and saw Dustin.
There you are! Thank goodness you are okay! Look, I think I found another tendril!
Another tendril. I can learn more. But before I could join my friend, he was taken.
Dustin, we are getting you out of here! No! Wait! Stop!
Dustin! I shot out a blast at the nearest one, but they dodged it easily.
Hurry, Mike!
The kids threw out an explosive, causing me to blast back into a tree. Ah! No, I need to save Dustin. He knows where another tendril is. On days 9 to 12, I rampaged through the forest to hunt down the kids. They don't know who they're messing with.
Stop! He's a friend!
After some searching, I finally found my way into a large junkyard, where I saw them enter a secure door in a large, broken down bus. Hey! I began to rush down, when an explosion went off right behind me. Ah! They set traps? More explosions went off as I angrily continued to rush towards the door. I dashed right up to it, but as I went to break it, it wouldn't budge. No! An explosive slingshot shot out of the door, hitting me back into a pile of barrels. Ah! But as it did, I saw a piece of raw meat fall out from one of them, and it looked delicious. I quickly ate it, causing me to grow stronger. Ha ha ha! I rushed up to the secured door and tore it down with my improved strength, only to see the kids had put my friend in the back, and next to him was the next tendril.
What the? He took some of the meat! Get him!
The kids rushed in to try and take me down as a team, but that just made it easier to blast them all back at once. Rah! However, as this happened, the roof of the bus blasted open. I was thrown back, and in front of me was this strange girl with powers, 11.
You are a monster! You leave me no choice.
The last kid then ran back towards the tendril. Oh, no you don't! But as I tried to stop her, the meat's effect wore off. I watched as she grabbed the tendril, as she began to grow stronger.
That's not good. Dude, run!
I did as he said and tried to run back the way I came. But 11 was even faster now and slammed into me with their powerful powers, launching me back into the junkyard. 11 came crashing down right after me.
You hurt my friends! You monsters are the reason for our town being ruined!
She started to blast out crazy powerful attacks as I ran around the yard as fast as I could. No, it's not me. It's not my family. She didn't listen though. I can't beat her now. She's too strong. Just then, one of her attacks was destroying everything around us as the entire place began to crack and fall apart. That gives me an idea. On days 15 to 16, I continued to fight 11 as she increasingly became angrier and angrier. She rushed in recklessly, allowing me to dodge to the side as she came crashing into the junkyard wall. Because of this, a ton of rubble came falling down, nearly taking her out. With her now weak, the tendril was on the ground for the taking. Yes!
You aren't going to kill me?
That's what I've been trying to say. This one, he's different than the others. He's a friend and wants to stop all of this madness.
The kids all looked at each other and agreed.
All right, friends.
We protect.
Thank you. I then collected the next tendril, causing me to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts, and now could summon powerful tendrils at will. Yeah! Dad? Dad?
Welcome to your new home. You have no idea how important you are for my plans. Don't fail me.
How was I important to his plans? However, 11 looked panicked.
Home. Under attack!
I followed after 11, and once we were in Hawkins, we saw demo bats flying everywhere, destroying the town. They were under control too. I need to stop them. I rushed in to try. However,
What is that?
everybody run! All the people ran, terrified of me. No, I'm trying to help.
Clear the way!
Huh? I turned around to see that a group of police officers had begun to march into the area to take down the bats. Their chief, Hopper, walked forward and looked at me.
Focus on the big one.
On days 17 to 18, the police all began to fire their weapons at me. Yeah, stop! I unleashed my own attacks as well, which sent some of them flying back.
Ha ha ha, that's it.
He ran in to hurt me, but 11 cut him off.
Kid, move out of the way. He's dangerous.
No! He's friend!
Friend. All right.
He called off the rest of his officers, and we caught him up on everything I've been going through.
You guys think finding these tendrils is the key to stopping all of this upside down madness? It's dangerous. But here.
He threw me over a letter, one that had coordinates.
From the military. Supposedly they found one of those things near the town. But be careful, Gorgon. They won't be as nice as us.
On days 19 to 21, I followed the coordinates and found myself at some cliffs on the outskirts of the town. There, a group of soldiers looked up just as a plane flew by overhead and dropped a care package.
Package secure!
Yeah, no it's not. I'll be taking that tendril.
Oh no! Stop him!
The other soldiers began to fire at me as I approached, so I took them down with a tendril boom. But as I did, something happened in the sky nearby. What's that? Rising up was the massive creature, the Mindflayer.
No! We gotta go!
The soldiers began to flee with the tendril, but before I could cut them off, the Mindflayer sent out a powerful blast, stopping me. Yeah!
You were supposed to be a success, but you failed, and you do not belong in the hive. Your life will stop now.
We'll see about that. I began to unleash my powers towards the Mindflayer, but they barely did a scratch. It hit me head on with another beam, throwing me back and dealing tons of damage. No, I gotta get out of here. I unleashed my tendril blast to slow the Mindflayer down as I ran away as fast as I could.
Run while you still can. Soon there will be nowhere left to go.
On days 22 to 26, I escaped from the Mindflayer and ran in the direction where the soldiers left. But when I finally caught up to them, they had entered into a military outpost. All kinds of vehicles and weapons were all around, as the place was swarming with patrolling guards. I need a different approach to get that tendril. I'm dead if I get caught here. As I said this, I saw one lone guard was driving into the base in his car. That gives me an idea.
What a nice day to be a soldier. Gah!
What was that? Bill, are you okay?
I'm fine. I was tasked to watch over that tendril.
All right. Well, they took it down into the bunker. But don't waste your time. They got that thing locked up tight.
Not for long, they don't. On days 27 to 29, I made my way into the underground bunker of the military base. The halls were covered in high tech and all kinds of restricted research. Whoa. I then looked over and watched as a military scientist opened a vault door with his keycard. And while the doors were open, I saw the tendril was being held there. I gotta get in there. Just then, I heard another monster screech nearby. Huh? What was that? I followed into a separate chamber and saw there was a Demogorgon. This one looked different though and was named Dart. For some reason, I trusted it and let it out of its cage. Good boy. However, a scientist walked in and spotted me. Hi? He ran away in fear and dropped his key card. Nice. However, it wasn't long until more of the soldiers found out.
Hey, what's going on in here?
Dart then ran in and began to fight off against them.
No.
On days 30 to 32, while the Demogorgon took out the soldiers, I went back to the vault and opened it with my newly acquired keycard. And there, in a large central containment structure, was the next tendril.
No, it's one of them!
Hurry, destroy the tendril!
One of the scientists flipped a switch, causing the orb containing the tendril to fill with lava? No! I rushed into action until one of them shocked me with an electric blast.
Yeah! Keep him here! Don't let him get the tendril!
They all began to lay into me with multiple electric blasts, shocking me in place. I desperately summoned my tendril powers around me, killing all of the scientists. Rah! With that, I blasted open the orb and grabbed the tendril. And as I did, my power began to surge as I started to grow into a more monstrous form. On days 33 to 35, I upgraded. I gained 5 more hearts and grew way stronger. Yes, but wait, no vision? The sirens continued, so I broke out of the ground in the middle of the military base in my newly upgraded form. They all started to panic, so as I unleashed a newly upgraded beam all around the base. Rah!
What is going on here? Men, blast the beast into pieces!
Under the general's command, the army's attacks were much more focused, as all of their artillery were starting to take a toll on my hearts. Yeah! I need to get out of here. I used my beam to blast a hole in the gate as I rushed out of the base. They gave chase, but I used my beam into the ground to burrow down and escape. On days 36 to 39, after safely escaping the military forces, I made my way back to the cabin in the woods from all those days ago. There, I rested up and used the time to bring me back to full hearts.
Whoa, those soldiers really did a number on you. Here, eat this.
He threw me over chocolate. Thanks. I need to find the last 2 tendrils. Knowing the full truth is for sure the key to stopping the Mindflayer. As I said this, I began to sense something. Another tendril. It's near. I went back out and followed my senses to the road, where I saw that car. It has the next tendril.
Oh yeah, I love this song. What the? What is that? Ah!
I rushed after the car on the highway. Get back here! On days 40 to 44, the car with the tendril began to swerve wildly, avoiding my attacks.
Do you know who I am? You don't want to mess with me!
I then slashed at a tree, causing it to fall and block his path.
Don't understand. The beast, the tendril belongs to him!
The beast? No way! I blasted down, causing another explosion, making Billy run.
Haha! It's too late now!
And in the destruction was the next tendril, but something was wrong. It was drained of its power. Where did the power go? Just then, I sensed something again, as I saw a large mutated beast roaming through the woods. The beast, it belongs to the Upside Down, and it has the tendril power? Oh, he's gonna pay for that. On days 45 to 49, I kept an eye on the beast and followed it all the way to a huge mall. Oh no, everyone inside is trouble. I have to stop it. I was about to rush in, but was cut off by another girl. It was Max.
Wait, you met my friend earlier. I promise you right now you won't win a fight against that thing.
I can't just let him use its power to destroy a mall.
I may have a plan to help you, but in order to do so, you have to evacuate everyone. That way, no one gets hurt.
Okay, fine. You're right.
Dude, I love shopping! Huh?
Me too! I got a sick Gucci belt and monster!
Everyone took one good look at me and began to panic. Awesome. Now to make sure all the stores are empty, I cleared out store after store and was able to evacuate everyone. That's strange. Where did the beast go? I thought it was in here.
Good job. Okay, with these, we should be able to stop it.
Are those fireworks?
You don't look too confident, do you? Trust me.
On days 50 to 56, I walked to the center of the mall and waited for the beast. There's no way it's in here. It must have left.
Shh! Do you hear that?
Just then, we heard stomping and stomping, and there, crashing down from the ceiling, was the giant beast. It's the Mindflayer, in a different form.
Shut it. You ready? Now!
Just then, Max shot out fireworks all around, and because of the sound and explosions, the beast started to get overwhelmed.
What are you waiting for? Go!
I listened to the girl and rushed in to fight the beast while it was disoriented. Because of this, I was able to hit it loads of times without it being able to retaliate. Haha! Take that! I landed hit after hit, but just then, Max's fireworks ran out?
Oh no, this isn't good.
Because of this, the beast paid full attention to me and hit me harder than ever. Ah! I was launched to the wall, and the beast rushed in to take me down. On days 57 to 59, the beast rushed in to take me down, but something strange grew within me. I let out a screech like none other, blasting out all my powers at once. Because of this, the monster was destroyed.
Whoa.
There on the floor was the next tendril. Yes! I walked over and picked it up, causing me to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts and now felt way stronger once again. Because of this, I fell into another vision.
Soon you won't remember a thing, and if this works, all humans will be in danger. If you work, I can make humans into monsters and spread my control over everyone, over their entire world.
No! No! The Mindflayer shot out his powers down onto me, and in seconds, I was transformed from a kid into a baby Demogorgon.
Learn their ways. Soon I will return.
Ah! No, the Mindflayer's plan. This is bad. On day 60 to 63, I returned back to the base with my new friend Max and got her situated with the others.
Hey Max, glad you guys made it out.
Next time, be a man and actually join us.
Ouch. With that, I went over to 11 and began to share what I had learned.
This is not good. If the Mindflayer has truly found a way to transform humans into Demogorgons, then life as we know it may end forever.
That's not good. If only there was a way I could use my vision to get to the next tendril, but I don't know how they work.
Wait, you've been having visions? That gives me an idea.
We went behind the cabin as 11 focused her powers. What are you doing?
If your visions are tied to the tendrils, I can use my powers and find the next one's location. Come over here.
I did as she said, and as 11 concentrated, I began to get pulled into a vision. When I came to my senses, I found that 11 and I were in a black void. Where are we?
Just focus. Do you sense anything?
I looked around and didn't see anything until I turned and saw a girl being approached by Billy.
Stay away from me!
Quit crying and hand over that tendril!
No! Suddenly, the vision ended, and 11 looked exhausted.
That's Nancy! She's my sister!
Billy must be trying to get the last one. Where are they?
I believe they were at the Hawkins Hospital. You must go there, now!
On days 64 to 68, I made my way towards the town, reaching the Hawkins Hospital, which looked nearly abandoned. They must be inside. But before I could approach the hospital, a man ran from around the corner, straight at me, holding a gun?
All hail the Mindflayer!
He began shooting at me, and although I could handle the pain, it was starting to overwhelm me. Yeah! Stop! But before he could stop to reload, he was knocked out by some dude with a bat?
A Demogorgon! You ready to go toe-to-toe with King Steve Harrington?
He rushed in and began hitting me. Hey, ow! No, I don't! Help! I'm friends with 11!
Wait, you know 11? Great, that means you can help me.
Why? What's going on?
My friends, Jonathan and Nancy, were helping me look for resources, but before we could, we were ambushed by Billy and some residents. We all got separated, but I followed them all the way back here. I think they might be hypnotized, but I'm a man of action, not science.
Right, well, let's see if we can find them inside. On days 69 to 73, we navigated our way through the Hawkins General Hospital.
Does every place in this town have to be this creepy?
This place is huge. They could be anywhere. But as I said this, we began to hear voices from down the hall. Gah! We looked down, and standing before a man was Billy. No, please, I'm on vacation! Before he could say anything else, Billy unleashed dark energy onto him, putting him under his control.
Now, go find that girl. The last thing we'll need is her in our way.
He's working for the Mindflayer. We gotta find Nancy before they do.
We'll split up. I'll go look for Jonathan. Meet back here if you find her.
We went our separate ways as I began looking in the patient's rooms. The hospital rooms all looked the same until I found one that didn't match the others. I entered and saw a petrified Nancy.
My luck just keeps getting worse.
No, don't worry. I'm friends with Steve. I'm here to rescue you guys.
You are? Great! But we can't leave without my friend Jonathan. We almost had that before we got ambushed by Billy.
Well, we'll save your friend. And when we do, could I have the tendril? It's the only way to stop the Mindflayer.
A Demogorgon wants to stop the Mindflayer? Yes, by all means.
On days 74 to 77, Nancy led me towards the back of the hospital, where we approached a door covered in flesh.
This is where I last saw Jonathan, but this stuff wasn't there before.
The tendril has to be in there. Stand back! I used my abilities and blasted the door, causing it to wither away. I entered, only to find a hallway covered in flesh.
That's disturbing.
But suddenly, the flesh covered the door behind me, separating the two of us. Whoa! Wait, what's happening?
You shouldn't be here!
Suddenly, everything began to quake, and the hallway started moving? Is this room alive? I began running through it, but as the walls began to move, boiling hot blood started shooting at me. Yeah, this is horrible! I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but using my abilities, I blasted myself towards the other side, finding myself in a large, fleshy room, and placed in a bloody cage was the last tendril. Whoa, that was close, but where's? Before I could finish my thought, I heard a large blast with Steve's body falling right in front of me. I looked up and saw what appeared to be a man who was under the control of the Mindflayer.
I found Jonathan.
On days 78 to 80, Jonathan, under the control of the Mindflayer, began unleashing tendrils at me.
All hail the Mindflayer!
I began dodging his attacks, using my abilities to blast away the tendrils. But the more I did, I can tell I was taking away Jonathan's life. Oh no, I need to fight back, but if I hit too hard, I can end up killing him. I tried to think quickly, but as I did, I noticed Steve was up again, carefully sneaking up on him.
Keep distracting him!
I did as he said, and before Jonathan could turn, Steve hit him on the head, which only made him angrier.
We're gonna laugh about this later, right, man?
Jonathan rushed towards him, ready to take him out.
Whoa, stop, man! We're best friends! Think about Nancy! Think about your family!
As Steve said this, I began to feel a rapid surge of energy start building in my chest, thinking about my family. I let out a massive screech, which not only disintegrated the flesh in the room, but snapped Jonathan out of his trance.
Whoa, Steve? What happened?
Oh, nothing, man. Just know that we're even, fight-wise.
With his friend all right, I turned and saw that the bloody cage had also been destroyed, leaving the final tendril for the taking. Yes, we did it!
Guys, you're all right. We gotta go now.
What have you done?
On days 81 to 85, Billy dropped into the room, spewing with energy from the Mindflayer.
You little parasite! All the work getting these losers in here for the Demogorgon army, all gone to waste! You are nothing compared to the Mindflayer, and he will rule with or without you!
Billy started floating and began to fly in towards me.
The tendril! Hurry!
Right! I quickly grabbed the tendril, and upon making contact, I began to feel all the powers of the 6 tendrils channeling into me, and I finally upgraded one last time. I gained 5 more hearts, became way stronger, and was now the most powerful Demogorgon in the world.
No! Wait! What are you doing?
Using my newfound strength, I let out a powerful screech right at him, finally taking him down for good.
You did it. I'm glad you guys are all right.
I'm glad too. Now, let's get back to safety. On days 86 to 90, I was leading my new friends back to my base, when suddenly, tendrils appeared below me and began pulling me down. Ah, what is this? I sunk further and further until I realized I was in the upside down. All around me were other Demogorgons that had been pulled here too, and in front of us was the Mindflayer.
Yes. Soon your numbers will grow after I turn everyone into Demogorgons. My power has only grown stronger the longer this gate is open. And very soon I will be strong enough to transform the entire world.
The other Demogorgons mindlessly cheered. The gate must lead to the real world. If I close that, maybe it'll cut off his connection to everyone there.
That rogue resisting my control sided with those humans. He cannot interfere with our plans. Keep the gate open at all costs.
This isn't good. If any of these Demogorgons notice me, I'm done for. I channeled my power, focusing on my friends back in the real world. If he pulled me here, I can push myself back home.
There he is. Stop him.
The Demogorgons rushed at me, but I was able to teleport away. On days 91 to 94, I found myself back in the real world, at the cabin in the woods. All my friends were around me and looked worried.
Bozo, are you okay? How did you do that?
I don't know. I was in the upside down and now I'm here, but maybe I can get back in. I saw the gate he's using to access your world. Maybe we can close it.
But you can't go back alone. He has a whole army of Demogorgons that want to tear you apart.
I know, but I can't put your lives in danger. Some of you are just kids. Everyone hesitantly looked at each other, but agreed.
It's okay. We believe in you. I'll hold off any that enter our world while you fight them in yours.
Yeah, you got this.
My friend's words boosted my confidence, and I knew I was ready. Don't worry, this nightmare will be over soon. And even if we don't see each other again, thank you guys for everything.
No, thank you, Bozo, for saving us again and again.
On days 95 to 99, I teleported myself back to the Upside Down and traveled to the gate. There was the Mindflayer, surrounded by his Demogorgon army. He was siphoning power to himself, ready to transform all humans into Demogorgons. Not so fast.
Everyone, kill him!
His army charged in towards me and swarmed me. I used the power I'd gathered since I spawned and began to push it back. However, when I would push back one, others would spawn in their place. I need to get to that gate now. Suddenly, something began to happen as I felt a psychic power surrounding me. Is this 11's ability? Is she helping me from the other side? I began to channel the extra power and released it in a massive burst of light. This burst froze the army in their tracks, stopping them from attacking. I rushed towards the gate and summoned my tendrils underneath it, closing it for good. Yes! Just then, I was blasted to the side by dark energy. I looked up to see the Mindflayers standing over me. Oh no. On day 100, I was face to face with the Mindflayer.
You'll pay for that. I will spread my influence to everyone, everywhere.
He rushed in and launched dark energy at me, knocking me back. No, humans and Demogorgons both deserve to live in peace in their own worlds. You can't control any of us. I already made you regret creating me. I'll make you regret ever thinking you could take over our worlds. I charged in and fought him with all my strength, matching blows with his. His hive mind energy took chunks out of my health, but I didn't let that stop me. I aimed a charge blast right at his head, stunning him. This caused something to happen.
Bozo?
His control over the Demogorgons. It's fading.
No. You all will listen only to me.
He began to summon black tendrils to try to control them again like all those days ago. Oh, no you don't. The Demogorgons and I rushed in and unleashed everything we had at him, finally taking him down.
Bozo, you did it! You saved us all!
Yes, I missed you so much. I was finally reunited with my family, and now both worlds could live in peace. However, skulk tentacles began to wrap all around me, and in seconds, my vision faded. I woke up and saw I was a baby infected Sky. I was captured by the aviation complex industry inside of a device that was linked directly to a warden.
We have finally found the power to kill you and your nasty infection. Flip this switch!
The machine I was in activated, causing bolts of skulk energy to course through my flesh. But something went wrong. I was transformed into skulk infected Sky, becoming way stronger with new abilities.
No! That wasn't supposed to happen!
Alarms began to blare in the facility as I pounced forward, killing scientist after scientist. I must spread skulk everywhere! Suddenly, I was interrupted as the aviation complex military arrived in the room. They shot their weapons at me, but it was doing no damage whatsoever. I'm way stronger now. Is that all you got?
Bad news for you, pest! We have the perfect weakness for skulk! Bring out the big guns!
Two latches opened above the general as two deadly military mechs dropped in.
Skulk spotted.
The two of them blasted out pure beams of light right at me, and as it hit my flesh, I dropped down to half a heart. If I don't get out of here, I'm done for. On day 2, I burst up to the surface, and after looking around, I saw I was in the middle of a large city. This is the perfect place to spread my new infection. However, one of the mechs followed behind and blasted right at me. Whoa!
Finish the job!
I hopelessly ran through the streets as more military men entered from all angles. Beams of lights shot all around me, and there were soldiers everywhere.
Eyes on the monster!
I don't stand a chance against these guys. What do I do? Just then, a mysterious voice rang out in my head.
If you want to live, listen to me!
What the? Who said that? Before the voice answered, a strange skulk passageway opened up before my very eyes.
Follow it!
How do I know I can trust you?
We're gonna went this way!
With no other choice, I listened to the voice and headed into the tunnel. Once on the other side, I was met with a large room with a mysterious skulk fragment high up at its center. Whoa, what's this? On day 3, I walked forward and collected the skulk fragment. As I did, the entire room around me came to life. Skulk tentacles rose out all around, and my body began to burst out of power like no other. I grew larger, gained 5 more hearts, and now had new infection abilities. Whoa. The voice then rang in my head again.
These skulk fragments hold a power like no other. If you manage to find all 6 of them, you will grow to an immeasurable strength.
As the voice said this, explosions went off around the room, revealing 2 military soldiers that found me.
Target spotted.
They ran in to shoot at me with their weapons. However, I shot out my newest skulk ability right at them.
What's happening?
In a matter of seconds, they were infected, transforming them into skulk parasites. Whoa, if these fragments make me stronger, then I gotta find the rest to fight against that military. Then, this entire city will fall to my infection. By the way, who are you in my head?
I am your hunger for power. Now, feast!
My new skulk parasites and I exited, only to find ourselves in the middle of a neighborhood. All right, minions, time to spread and find the next fragment. On day 4, my skulk infection spread all throughout the streets. My minions took down person by person with ease, as I was searching for any sign of the next fragments. However, our party was cut short, as a large fighter jet flew in above us.
Oh, great, there's more of them. Preparing for the next attack.
It rained down explosions overhead, easily destroying my skulk. Uh-oh, it flew in, taking down both of my minions before my very eyes. Hey, I tried to fight back against the jet. However, my powers weren't able to reach them.
You're gonna need to be much stronger if you want to stand a chance against us. Drop in the K9!
The jet's doors opened as a large, deadly K9 unit fell on the streets in front of me. He ran in and began to slash at me with its sharp claws, and in a single hit, almost depleted all of my health. I gotta get out of here! I knew I couldn't stand a chance against the dog, so I tried to dart away from it. However, he was much faster than I was, and was gaining on me fast. He jumped over me, cutting me off, and with another slash, my vision started to fade. On day 5, I awoke trapped in a cage, and after looking around, I saw I was in a lab. Hey, let me out of here!
Ah, the testing subject has awoken. I will take your DNA, and you will be 9 use to me anymore. Ha ha ha!
The scientist left as I tried to blast my way out of the cell walls. However, the technology was just too enhanced. It didn't even budge. Oh man, I gotta get out of here.
Maybe I can help with that.
I turned around to see in the cage with me was an infected bike? What the?
Yep, they captured me. But because of your skulk infections, I have come to life. I'll do anything I can to repay you for it.
Whoa, weird. Can you get us out of here? The infected bike rang his bell as he squeezed through the cell bars because of his size. Within seconds, our cell was opened. Sweet. Now, come on, we gotta get out of here. The 2 of us began to sneak our way out of the lab, as there were highly armored mechs walking all around taking guard. Thankfully, with the bike's help, we were able to make it back up to the surface. Once there, I looked around, only to see we were on a secluded island with the Statue of Liberty. They really wanted us away from that city, huh? Before we could leave, though, alarms blared off all around us, as walls with turrets rose to block our escape.
Oh no!
The jet from before flew in, angrier than ever.
That's it. Forget capturing you. I'm just gonna kill you instead.
On day 6, the Air Force jet flew in and blasted the 2 of us towards the statue. Yeah! He's too strong. We gotta find a way off this island.
How?
He flew in again to blast us down with explosions. However, I dodged and began to scale the statue. This way! The bike followed after me as the two of us began to parkour off of various platforms and debris. It wasn't easy though, because the jet continued to blast out platforms all around us. Whoa!
You piss are so done for!
I thought we weren't gonna make it until I heard another whisper in the air. Huh? Looking up, I saw there on the statue's torch was another skulk fragment. Those suckers. They brought me right to another one. The jet blasted me again. However, I timed my jump so that the explosion launched me high above. I landed right on the skulk fragment, and as I collected it, I grew stronger once again. I was now way taller with large, sharp claws, had 5 more hearts, and new skulk-infecting abilities.
Well, that's not good.
I blasted out an even stronger ability right at the jet, and was able to hit him this time.
Ah! Impact! Mayday! Mayday! Going down!
On days 7 to 8, the jet crashed down onto the ground, making us victorious. From there, I began to blast out my infecting powers all around, claiming the Statue of Liberty under my infection. Ha ha ha! These fragments are great.
They will increasingly get stronger and stronger until one day the whole city will be ours!
Yes, it will.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody. I made it back to the ground, with the bike now on my side.
Consider me your servant. I'll do anything I can to spread your infection.
Finally, someone with common sense. Just then, explosions sounded off as the main military entered the island.
You only took down one of our rookie jets. You have no idea what else we have in store for you.
Missiles began to fire down all around us, and I knew we had to run.
I know the perfect place.
He blasted out a skulk blast, which opened up a tunnel for us to fall through.
Come on!
After he jumped in, I had no other choice but to follow. On days 9 to 10, the infected bike and I escaped as he led me to a hidden cave under the city. And once we reached an opening, I saw an entire cavern full of skulk infection. Whoa, what is this place?
This is the safest hideout for any infected. Watch this.
The bike then rode over, and as he got close to the infection, it began to replenish his health in an instant.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Sweet. I can't rest on an empty stomach. Come on. My friend and I were heading back up the tunnels to the surface to get some more food when I started to hear someone ahead of us.
Cowabunga!
I looked up just in time to see that a mutant turtle was skateboarding.
Guys, I found them!
Suddenly, more turtles appeared out of nowhere, completely surrounding us. Hey, step back! I shot out a blast at the nearest one, but they dodged it easily.
Hurry, Mikey!
The skateboarding turtle rushed in and slammed into me, knocking me back. And with this opening, they quickly grabbed my friend and took him away. Hey!
Sorry, but I'm not just gonna let you infecteds tear apart our city.
The turtle threw out an explosive, which caused the tunnel in front of me to collapse. Oh no, I gotta find my friend. On days 11 and 12, I rampaged through the connecting tunnels to hunt down the mutant turtles. They don't know who they're messing with. After some searching, I finally found my way into the city sewers, where I saw them enter a secure door with my radar vision. Hey! I began to rush down the sewer when an explosion went off right behind me. Yeah! They set traps? More explosions and lasers began to shoot out as I angrily continued to rush towards the door, dodging as many as I could. I dashed right up to the door, but as I went to break it down, it just wouldn't budge. No! Another laser shot out of the door, hitting me back into a pile of barrels. And as I did, a strange ooze fell out from one of them. That looks delicious. I quickly ate it, causing me to absorb its radiation and grow stronger. Ha ha ha! I rushed up to the secured door and tore it down with my improved speed, only to see the mutant turtles had put my friend in a cage next to another skulk fragment.
What the? He took some of the ooze! Get him!
The turtles rushed in to try and take me down as a team, but that just made it easier to blast them all back at once. Rah!
No! You monster! You leave me no choice!
The last turtle ran back towards the skulk fragment, and as I tried to stop him, the ooze's effect wore off. I then watched as the turtle grabbed the fragment. As he began to change, he was turned into an even stronger mutant turtle.
Dude, run!
I did as he said and tried to run back the way I came, but the turtle was even faster now and spun around in his shell, launching me through a side wall. I landed in a water-filled sewer line, but the turtle came dashing down after me.
You'll pay for killing my brothers!
He started to blast out crazy powerful attacks as I swam around in the water as fast as I could. I can't beat him now. He's too strong. Just then, one of his attacks hit the wall as it began to crack and fall apart. Wait a minute. That gives me an idea. On days 15 to 16, I continued to fight the giant skulk turtle as he increasingly became angrier and angrier. He rushed in recklessly, allowing me to dodge to the side as he came crashing into the sewer wall. Because of this, a ton of rubble came falling down, nearly taking him out. With him now weak, I unleashed a final skulk blast, finally taking him down. Yeah! I, from there, collected the next skulk fragment, causing me to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts, and now could summon more powerful skulk tendrils at will.
A little help here?
Oh, right. I made my way back up to the room where my friend was caged and broke him out with ease. You ready to get back to the surface?
Yes, this sewer's making my wheels dry.
I burst my way out of the sewers and noticed that we were now in the middle of Times Square.
What is that?
Everybody, run!
All of the players started to scatter as I used my new ability to tear through the crowd. Ha ha ha!
Clear the way!
Huh? I turned around to see that a group of army soldiers had begun to march into the area. You think I'm scared of a few little guns? But as I said this, a large army tank rolled up behind them. Oh, that's not a little gun. On days 17 to 18, the army tank charged up a missile, aiming right towards me.
Fire at will!
They began to blast at me with everything they had, nearly destroying the square around. You guys say you're protecting the city? I quickly used my tendrils to wipe out the soldiers surrounding the tank, but then it blasted me head on. I knew I had to get close to fight against its armor. But as I rushed in, more soldiers came parachuting down, trying to blast me as well. I was about to blast at them until Infected Bike shot them out of the air from the rooftop.
Woohoo!
Finally, I got my chance to run up and tear into the army tank.
Pull back! Pull back! Retreat!
With that, I was able to completely destroy it. And from the destruction, I saw that an officer had dropped a letter. Important pickup? It would be a shame if someone were to ruin that meeting. On days 19 to 21, I followed the coordinates and found myself at some cliffs on the outskirts of the city. There, a group of soldiers looked up just as a plane flew by overhead and dropped a care package.
Package secure. Now, where's that tank escort?
Oh, that tank is gonna need some repairs, so I'll be taking that skulk fragment.
Oh no! Stop him!
The other soldiers began to fire at me as I approached, so I took them down with a sonic boom. But as I did, something began to happen in the water nearby. What's that? Rising from the waterline was a massive creature that looked much more powerful than me. Godzilla?
Ha ha! So long, you beast!
The soldier began to flee with the fragment, but before I could cut them off, Godzilla stopped me with his atomic breath.
What are you doing? I am the Alpha Kaiju of this world, not you!
We'll see about that. I began to unleash my skulk infection towards him, but they barely did a scratch. He hit me head on with another beam, throwing me back and dealing lots of damage.
This creature is too strong for you to fight. For now.
You're right! I unleashed my skull tentacles to slow Godzilla down as I ran away as fast as I could. On days 22 to 26, I escaped from Godzilla and ran in the direction where the soldier left. But when I finally caught up to them, they had entered into a military outpost. All kinds of vehicles and weapons were all around, as the place was swarming with patrolling guards. I need a different approach to get to that fragment. I'm dead if I face them all now. As I said this, I saw one lone guard was driving out of the base in his car. Maybe I can try something.
Oh, finally, I get to go home and see my family. Ah!
Sorry, but your shift's not actually over. I blasted the human with my skulk infection, completely infecting him. My skulk took over his body, allowing me to take control over him. Whoa! Alright, back to work. With my new disguise, I drove back and entered the military base.
Oh, Bill? I thought you went home for the day.
Nope, I wanted to see that skulk fragment they recovered.
Alright, well, they took it down into the bunker, but don't waste your time. They got that thing locked up tight.
Not for long, they don't. On days 27 to 29, I made my way into the underground bunker of the military base. The halls were covered in high tech and all kinds of restricted research. Whoa. I then looked over and watched as a military scientist opened a vault door with his key card. And while the doors were opened, I saw the skulk fragment was being held there. I gotta get in there. But where do I get a key card?
Yo, come with me. I need some help with this specimen.
Hey, you don't tell me what... yes, sir. I followed the scientist to another chamber where tons of cages had all kinds of monsters locked up.
Specimen 207, the Mothman. We need to relocate him immediately.
Very dangerous, you say?
Da, you can't even stand near the bars or it will tear you apart.
Interesting. With that, I punched the scientist closer to the cage.
What are you? Ah!
As he was taken care of, I noticed he dropped his key card. Nice teamwork. Just then, though, the scientist's scream had caught the attention of the other soldiers.
Hey, what's going on in here?
I don't have time for this. I ran over and flipped the switch, causing all of the cages in the room to open.
I'm free!
No!
On days 30 to 32, while the monster distracted the soldiers, I went back to the vault and opened it with my newly acquired key card. There, in a large central containment structure, was the next skulk fragment.
Yes, we must grow.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Huh? I looked over and saw a few other scientists were still running tests. Oh, I just wanted to, but before I could say anything else, the human body I possessed became so corrupt that I changed into a skulk parasite.
No, it's one of them! Hurry, destroy the fragment!
One of the scientists flipped a switch, causing the orb to fill with lava? No! I rushed into action, using my smaller form to try and weave around the scientists in my path, until one of them shocked me with an electric blast. Yeah!
Keep him there! Don't let him get the fragment!
They all began to lay into me with multiple electric blasts, which shocked me right in place.
Feed! Must feed!
I desperately summoned my skulk tentacles around me, which killed all of the scientists. Rah! With that, I blasted open the orb and grabbed the skulk fragment. As I did, my power began to surge with infection as I started to grow back to my monstrous form. On days 33 to 35, I broke out of the ground in the middle of the military base in my newly upgraded form. The soldiers around started to panic as I unleashed a newly upgraded skulk beam all throughout their base. Rah!
What is going on here?
I looked over and noticed that the general of the army had come running out.
Men!
Blast that beast into pieces!
Under the general's command, the army's attacks were much more focused, as all of their artillery was starting to take a toll on my hearts. Yeah, I need to get out of here. I used my beam to blast a hole in the gate as I rushed out of the base. The Air Force flew out, sending some of their jets after me to finish the job. So I had to think quickly and use my skulk beam into the ground to burrow down and escape. After safely escaping the military forces, I returned to the skulk-infected cavern under the city. There, I rested up and used the infection to bring me back to full health.
Whoa, those humans really did a number on you. What are you gonna do?
I just need to get stronger, spread more. Then I'll make them pay for trying to stop me. As I said this, I began to sense something.
Another fragment! It is near!
Show me where. I went back above ground and followed my senses to the highway where I saw that car. It has the next fragment.
Ooh, I love this song! What the? Ah!
I rushed after the car on the highway as it began to swerve and dodge my attacks. Get back here! On days 36 to 39, the car with the fragment began to go around the highway intersection, trying to use the exit roads to get away. I blasted the exits to keep it close and on the wide road, but the driver wasn't giving up easily.
I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
I slammed down, causing the ground to crack up, which made the car fly over and crash.
Please, please, I'm just the delivery driver! Don't kill me!
You make a good point. Let me think. No! I blasted down, causing another explosion, which killed the human and destroyed the car. In the destruction was the next skulk fragment, but something was wrong. It was broken. No! Just then, I felt my warden senses go off again, as I saw a large, skulky mech flying up high in the air.
This mech is running purely off of skulk energy. System check is all good. Heading back home.
That person stole our power? I began to blast up into the air, trying to knock down the mech. But because of this, he took notice.
What the? It's here! Guess I have time for a few more tests.
The mech then swooped down and fired off blasts all around me, using his speed to his advantage. Yeah! I tried to swipe him down, but he backed off and began to fly away.
Come get me, you freak!
Hey, give it back! On days 40 to 44, I rushed after the mech as the man flew across a parking lot.
Wait, what is that? Ah!
I gotta slow this monster down. Aha!
The mech then shot out an electric pulse at a nearby generator, causing all of the streetlights to brighten and shoot out electricity. Ah!
Don't worry, folks. I'm here to save you. Oh no.
We're all going to die! I began to blast out at the lights, destroying them as I moved towards the flying mech. As I got close, though, the mech let out a sonic boom right at me. And as I was hit, it completely overwhelmed my senses.
Ha ha! How about a taste of your own medicine?
However, as he said this, his mech started to malfunction and fall to the ground.
Whoa! This still needs some improvements. We'll meet again, monster! Then this mech will take you down for good!
I went to stop him from flying away, but the electricity in the area shocked me again. I quickly blasted out at the generator, finally destroying it. But as I turned, I saw that the man used this opportunity to fly away. No!
Calm yourself. We must approach this ignorant fool in a different way. Now, follow him.
I listened to the voice's words and quietly swam out into the water after the mech. On days 45 to 47, I kept an eye on the mech in the sky and followed it through the bay to a large tower in the city.
Don't show yourself yet. We must be patient.
I listened to my voice and stayed low in the water and used my enhanced senses to listen in.
Your creation has performed wonderfully, sir. The military will be quite happy with it.
Not so fast. I still need to run a few tests. I can't sell them a faulty product.
Oh no, they're giving that mech to the military. I have to stop them. I was about to rush in, but the voice in my head stopped me.
Patience. There is no telling what other technology that man has in the tower. We need to flush him out somehow.
I looked around and noticed that nearby was a very lively amusement park. Maybe a few minions by my side would help get his attention. I blasted the human, converting him into one of my parasites. And as I did, the entire park went into panic. Ha ha ha! Fear me! The humans all began to scatter, while my minions and I rushed in to make another one. My minion cut off someone trying to escape.
Please, I just came here for a corn dog.
I guess today's just not your day. With another minion under my control, we looked around again, but there wasn't a soul in sight. I need one more. Find them! My minions began to tear through the fair, destroying any hiding spots they could find. But that's when my senses heard someone. Perfect! I went over and was about to blast out an attack when the human threw out something that hit me in my eye. This caused me to miss my attack and blast into the base of the Ferris wheel. Yeah! Why, you little runt! I angrily corrupted the final human, and with 3 under my command, I was ready to flush out the Skulk Mech. On days 48 to 52, my minions and I were making our way back to the Billionaire's Tower when we were suddenly ambushed by the deadly military mechs from before.
Your reign of terror ends here, monster! Fire at will!
They all began to shoot down at me with their light beams, weakening me with every hit. No! Stop them! On my command, my Skulk minions rushed out and began to fight back against them. Before, we would have stood no chance against their attacks, but now I was much stronger.
What? No! No!
One remained and stood across from me in the courtyard. He went to fire again, but I got off my attack first. Skulk tendrils exploded below him as my Skulk infection spread all throughout the area, completely taking it over. Seems my reign of terror is far from over. My minions and I finally headed over to the base of the large tower, where the Skulk mech sat at the very top. All right, it's time to take back my power. Now go, get me that mech. My minions obeyed my command as they began to rush into the base of the tower.
What the? Yeah! Hey, what are you? Ah! Music to my ears!
That power is as good as ours. But as I said this, I watched as an explosion burst from the top, and my minions came flying down. What the? I looked up to see the man had jumped back onto his mech and came flying down.
I knew this was your doing! You'll die by my hands!
On days 53 to 56, I began to fight against the Skulk mech as it used its speed to fly around me, blasting out its intense attacks. I tried to knock him out of the sky, but I got hit with another Skulk blast, which completely disoriented me.
We need to draw him in now!
I'm trying!
Hooray! To the boat!
Huh? I looked over just in time to see a few people running to escape the area on the boat, which gave me an idea. Oh look! You wouldn't let these poor civilians die, would you? I blasted out towards the boat, completely destroying it. What? Oh no! Help! Help us!
Hang on, you poor civilians! I'm coming!
The man tried to fly over in his mech to help the civilians, and as he did, I used this opportunity to hit him head on with my beam. Because of this, something began to happen to the mech.
What? No, not now!
The machine began to spark and malfunction as it fell into the water. Now's my chance. On days 57 and 59, I rushed into the bay and bit into the Skulk mech as I started to steal back my power.
No!
The infection spread within me again as I began to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts and now had a stronger plain tail that I could slam into my enemies with.
Sir, what do we do?
Activate self-destruct. It's the only way.
What? The mech began to flash as its core charged up a final explosion. I gotta get out of here. But as I swam out further into the bay, Godzilla rose up, blocking my path.
You're not going anywhere.
He charged in and began to hit me back, keeping me within range of the mech. No! No! I swiped out at Godzilla with my tail, knocking him away. But with this distance, he was able to charge up his atomic breath and sent me flying back next to the mech. I tried to run, but it was already too late. The mech exploded, hitting me head on. Ah! And because of this, I passed out. On days 60 to 63, I woke up on top of a glacier? What the? Where am I?
I've taken you far away from the city and all its people to die here in the cold.
He charged up another atomic breath to finish me off. So I quickly hit him with my tail to push him back. This caused his attack to miss and shoot into the glacier below me, sending me falling inside. Ah!
Ja, so long, parasite. The cold will kill you soon enough.
I landed down in the cold reaches of the glacier. Ah, he's right. I need to get out of here. I began to rush through the tunnel, looking for any way to escape. Huh, what's that doing here? I then found a light coming through one of the cave walls and saw that the ice was the thinnest it was here. I can break out. I began to slam into it and blasted it with my infection, shaking the whole cavern. But because of this, I began to hear something moving around me. Huh? I turned around to see that my destruction had caused a group of ancient Yeti to come out. Oh, great! On days 64 to 68, the Yetis rushed in and began to blast me with their freezing attacks. I was already cold enough, and with their combined hits, I was starting to freeze. No! I blasted out wildly, doing everything I could to take them down, but more and more Yetis leapt out of hiding. Thankfully though, with a combination of my tail and beam, I was able to hold them at bay and finally take out the last one.
Wretched creatures! They should never have crawled out of hiding!
Tell me about it. Suddenly, a large burst of ice exploded behind me. I looked over and noticed that it revealed the outside. What the? Why did it break down? I walked out to see a frozen sea, and out in the water was an infected ship?
Finally, I'm free!
What the? Did my powers awaken you? But it didn't answer, as it began to fire its artillery at me. On days 69 to 73, I had to dodge around the ice to avoid being exploded by the infected ship. Hey, don't make me put you back in the ice!
I'm never going back.
He was extremely fast in the water and made it impossible to get in close. All right, that's enough! I summoned my skulk tendrils in the water, corrupting it into skulk blocks, which trapped the ship.
What? No! I have to make the humans pay for what they've done!
Wait, that's what you want?
Humans left me here to rot! I will make them regret ever forgetting me!
I slowly got closer and broke the skulk that was holding him. Well, you and me have very similar goals then. Want to make them pay together? The infected agreed and formally joined my team. With his help, we made our way back to the city when we came across a nuclear power plant. My warden senses began to activate as I looked over and saw that the factory held the final skulk fragment at its center. On days 74 to 77, the infected ship stayed behind in the water as I went up to the factory. You're all mine! I tried to slam into the dome holding my fragment, but surprisingly, it wouldn't budge. Ah! What did they make this out of? I then looked around at all of the silos around me. It may be able to stop me, but what about a nuclear meltdown? I began to charge around the factory, destroying everything in my path. My beams would cut through the silos as the ground began to rumble and pools of nuclear waste formed around the area. I watched as all of them began to burn everything, including the dome around the fragment. Just a little bit more. But as I said this, I heard a voice ring out from the factory.
Radiation level detected. Activating cooldown system.
Huh? Suddenly, strange machines appeared around the area and began to produce freezing cold wind to cool down the factory. Oh, no you don't. I rushed over to the closest one and slammed down onto it. But as I tried to rush over to the other, its freezing cold air began to slow me down.
I've got it!
The infected ship launched off some of his cannons at the machine, breaking it just in time. After destroying more of the factory, I was able to have enough of it corroded, which caused the dome to break open. But before I could run up and grab it, I heard heavy footsteps running towards me.
You lived? I guess I'll just have to kill you myself!
On days 78 to 80, Godzilla came running in, using his atomic breath to shove me back into the waste. Ah! I tried to fight back, But as I did, Godzilla was absorbing the radiation, which made him grow stronger.
You really messed up now.
His attacks were even more powerful and began to bring my health extremely low. However, missiles slammed down from above and pushed him back.
Hold on, I'll cover you.
I looked over and saw that the infected ship had began to fire his artillery from the water line, giving me an opening. Just keep him back! I rushed for the Skulk fragment, knowing that it was the only way I could defeat Godzilla.
Oh, no you don't.
He unleashed another powerful attack, pushing me back into more waste. But just before I was taken down, I reached out and touched the fragment.
Yes! Yes!
On days 81 to 85, the power of the final Skulk fragment empowered the infection all throughout my body. As I began to upgrade, I gained even more hearts and became the most powerful entity in the world. Godzilla rushed in to attack again, but with my new strength, I was now able to put up a fight against him. His radiation actually began to empower me.
What? No!
In my newly upgraded form, I could now absorb the radiation into my body as it began to course through me in a new attack. Who's the apex predator now? I unleashed all the energy at once, sending out a massive Skulk nuke. My infection completely took over the area as the blast took down Godzilla for good. We did it!
That's what I'm talking about! Nothing can stop us now!
That's right! Now go! Spread our infection to the city, and then the entire world!
On days 86 to 90, after leaving the nuclear factory in ruins, I made my way back to the Skulk-infected cave under the city.
You did it! This world won't know what hit him!
Right, but first, I need to absorb more of this infection, and I think I know just how to do it. I went to the center of the cave, and as I did, I began to pull in all of the Skulk around me. This caused my eyes to flash as I was pulled into a vision. My eyes opened as I was now in a strange void-like space.
You have done great work.
What's that? Are we in my head?
This is I, your inner self. And you have done well to feed me. But I still hunger. I hunger for more.
I know, and we will have it. We will have the world.
Yes, yes, we will.
Skulk tendrils started to appear all around me as more and more infection started to swell within my body. Ha ha ha! My vision then flashed as I could see down above the military outpost as they were all gathering together.
Brothers, men, this infection has gone on long enough. Do you want to go back to your families?
Yes, sir!
Do you want the sun to shine another day?
Yes, sir!
Do you want to blow this monster up from the inside out?
Yes, sir!
General, the city has been evacuated. Everything is loaded up and ready to roll out on your command.
Well, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. And I need each of you to stand with me. Are you with me?
Yes, sir!
Men, stand your ground! Push it back!
Sir, it's too much! Our radar indicating sources coming from the center of the city!
Air Force, get me visual!
Yes, sir.
Max, wait for my signal to engage the beast! Everyone else, follow me! Let's end this!
On days 95 to 98, I burst out from under the city center and began to spread my infection all throughout it. Ha ha! But as I did, the Air Force started to fly in.
This is it, man. Take them down.
They flew around me, firing at me with everything they had. But I was far too powerful now. I slammed them out of the air with my tail, and any that tried to fly away, I shot down easily with my Skulk beam. More explosives started to rain in though, as a line of tanks began to barrage me with missiles. Ah! So annoying!
I got him!
The infected ship's artillery came crashing down, exploding the group of tanks before they knew what hit them. I then looked over and watched as a group of soldiers were being distracted by the infected bike.
Stop moving!
Can't catch me! Oh, so close!
I looked over just in time to see the military general on a rooftop.
You think you still have the upper hand, beast? You'll never take our city! Operation Big Man is a go!
Suddenly, a massive military mech dropped down into the center of the city.
Destroy every last piece of this abomination!
With pleasure.
On day 99, the kaiju-sized mech charged up his light beam attack. Oh no! It shot out, carving right into me as I dodged to the side. All right, two can play at that game. I let out my infected beam, striking the mech back, and I could tell we were evenly matched in power. We continued to trade blows as I tried to get in close with my tail, but I just kept getting blasted back.
Hold on! We're with you!
Coming in!
Artillery started to rain down from above, crashing down onto the mech and disorienting it. The infected bike also began to layer on attacks as it drove across the rooftops.
Take that, you oversized microwave!
Oh, come here, you little runt!
The mech shot out another beam, destroying the building my friend was on.
Yeah!
No! Rage built up inside me as I rushed up and finally took down the giant mech with my tail. Hey, are you alright?
I'm alright. Might just need some new air in these tires.
I was then suddenly struck by another attack from the side. Yeah! I looked over and saw that on a far rooftop was the military general, staring me down with a massive turret.
Come at me, you monster! Oh, this is going to be fun!
On day 100, I rushed towards the army general as his powerful turret began to unload a barrage of attacks towards me. I began to try and move through the surrounding buildings for cover, but my massive size just caused them to crumble with a single hit. That's not good. My size made me an easy target for the turret, which was actually dealing tons of overwhelming damage.
We must get close! We must devour him!
I'm trying! I began to shoot out my infection, trying to take him down, but his armor was completely resistant to my attacks.
You think I wasn't ready for that? You think I'm a fool?
He continued to unload attacks on me, causing me to be pushed back. Ugh! That's it! I shot another beam, but this time, I struck a nearby skyscraper, causing the rubble to fall down on top of him.
No!
The general leapt down into the city streets and began to run. Oh, you're scared now? I unleashed my skull tentacles at his feet, causing him to be trapped in place.
Ah! You think this is the end? Humans will never stop fighting. Someone will find a way to kill you.
Not if I corrupt you all first. And with that, I unleashed the most powerful skulk beam I could directly onto the general, finally taking him down for good. With the military finally defeated, the world will now be infected by my skulk.